Alright, so I've got a different color here. So again, we got the different boxes. For the G box, we have our long G long box or long pattern box right there. Okay, and then we've got our normal tri-pentatonic G box, which is only up to there. Which, if we look at this drawing, that's where the modals are. The modals are in the tri-pentatonic short pattern. Okay. So there's different boxes to be concerned with. That's why we have different lengths here, but certainly the one that goes further away from the fret nut is the long pattern. And here we have the doubling here. So I decided with the doubling of these of the notes in the pattern, let's go over to the D pattern. This is the normal tri-pentatonic D pattern. Starts on the 2. Okay, that's the normal D tri-pentatonic. It's got the 7 and the 3, but we're not playing that with the long pattern, but we're going to have this doubled 6 there. So in this case, in the D pattern with the doubling, we start at the 2 with the normal D-shaped 2 on the bottom. That's legal because it's cage defining the D string shape. 2, 3, 4 D string shape. Why? Because when you play an open D up here, an open D, pretend my finger's the fret nut, the E becomes the second. So that's why we start on the second. Using the key of C string numbers, the D would be up here. I'm playing in an octave lower. 2, 3, 4. And then we go into an S3XL. And then that should be the 6-2. That's the top part of a S4L. You hear that doubling? So that's the doubling system, and I decided throw the doubling system out. Don't throw it out, but I'm not going to memorize that. I'm not going to memorize this particular arrangement. What am I going to memorize? I want to minimal memorization. That doesn't mean I want it too simple. I want it so that I can learn it. And I'll show you how I learned this. Tell me, play an A. Okay, here's an A. I memorized that A. Play an A pentatonic. I memorized that A pentatonic. Play an A diatonic. I memorized that. Next thing I'm going to memorize is on this chart that you're looking at here, and it's the long shape A. So let's just cut to the chase right here and look at A. So what do we got here? Once again, and this should be easy now, a little easier because we're looking at it. I don't want to get too far into the actual pattern we're going to play yet. I want to talk about this first. This is a long fret nut here, okay? So it's almost as if we're in the key of A, almost. But this isn't the key of A. This is the A position that we would play in the key of C. So here would be A. Okay? But we're going to play that A shape in the C shape here. So this is the A shape C box. Okay? Here's the original A shape over here is here. Now I had to kind of, how was I going to do this? We got this on the bottom. Now it gets a little tricky, but we're using this fretboard. So in other words, I want to show you what we're doing here with the A position here. Now we're talking about that A position. This is it. This is the whole A position right here that we're going to talk about. Okay, give me cursor mode. we are not looking at the E stuff right here. So we're going to take this away right here. We're not looking at A at that point, at this point. Okay, want to get this back where it was. So we got it squared off. So this is what we're looking at, the big A box. Here's the notes. The A is right here, 5 root 3. Okay, the A is right there. If I put this thing on like magnifier or something, you know, that would be interesting. But let's not dabble in new stuff right now. 5 root 3 is the A chord. Okay, so the A pentatonic. Here's your normal A box. Here's the A pattern. S1A, S4L, S1A. I just played that. In the A box, starting on the 5th, red 5 there, light blue 6. Warp it up so that S4L gets warped up. Look at it right on the fretboard here. We got 5, 6, which is an S1A, and then the S4L, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, top part of the S4L, warped up, 2, 3, 4, and then on top of it is just A shape. So that's the normal pattern. We've had lessons on that. We've played it. It's fun. It's great. We love it. The pentatonic, it works. Now we have an alternative. What if there's a capo there? What if when we playing that A, or in this case an A-shaped C, what if we can't play this anymore? We're up Schitt's Creek. Sorry for my French. Sorry for my, well, that's another description, but sorry for my language there. But really, and we don't have a paddle. So what do we do? What do we do? I guess we'll see what happens, but we're going to use a long pattern here. Alright, now this long pattern is going to take advantage of the open notes. Okay, so in this case, the long patterns are always going to start on the bar. So here's the bar. Okay, so we're going to take away the that particular square. So now we know where we are, right? This is the short pattern, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the diatonic. If you can do the diatonic, you can do the pentatonic, you can do the tritonic. Where's the tritonic? What's the A shape? Well, okay, it's actually an A shaped C starting on a 5, so it's going to be 5 root 3, 5 root 3, all the way up here to 5 again. Okay? So it's going to be 5 root 3. Okay, but we can't go over there now. We can't do that now. How are we going to do that? Okay, well, we're not going to do the tritonics in the long patterns yet. That's going to be the next chart. The next chart and next lesson is going to be the modals in the long patterns. Right now we're just going to worry about how to play the diatonics in the long patterns, and of course you could just drop the 7 and the 4 and do the pentatonics, and then of course you just drop the 6th and the 2nd and you got the tritonics. But if you're a genius, you could do that. If you told a genius to do that, he could still play it. He could just play the tritonic right there. So here we go. This is the big long fret nut that spans the 2 keyboards. And notice that S3XL is behind that fret nut. Okay? So we're going to start with an S3XL. Here's the long pattern. And folks, this is important. We want to learn how to play these patterns. We're not going to worry about playing the open strings up top here. We're going to start down here with on the bar. okay.